Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. The NMA calls a strike, orders doctors back to work. Presidency applauds doctors' decision, advises them to show more patriotism in future. INEC opens window for registration of more voters. And the DR Congo confirms a Central African country's first case of Ebola virus disease. A reminder here that all our top stories can be found on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. But do visit m.channelstv.com so you can view us live on your mobile device and download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. We also encourage you to interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Health authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo say that 2 people have died from the Ebola virus disease in the northwest part of the country. They are the first reported cases of Ebola outside West Africa since the current outbreak began. So far, 1,427 people have died from Ebola virus disease, and an estimated 2,615 people in West Africa have been infected with the disease since March. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says the speed and extent of Ebola has been unprecedented. Well, another foreign Ebola victim has been airlifted from Sierra Leone on his way to Britain. A Daily Mail reports that the charity worker, believed to be a male nurse named William, is the first confirmed case of a Briton contracting the deadly virus. He will be taken to a London isolation unit at the Royal Free Hospital in North London for treatment. The report adds that the man is not currently seriously unwell, but experts are assessing his situation to ensure that he is giving appropriate care. And now to this disturbing report coming from Abubakar Shekau, the leader of the Boko Haram group. This video is believed to be his latest. In it, he claims the sect has succeeded in creating an Islamic Caliphate in Goza, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. To show that he is in control, he's driven round Goza, shooting sporadically in the air and causing many to run for cover. The FP quotes Shekau as saying, "Thanks be to Allah who gave victory to our brethren in the town of Goza and made it part of the Islamic Caliphate." He declared that Goza in Borno State now has nothing to do with Nigeria. Shekau has been designated a global terrorist by the United States and sanctioned by the UN Security Council.
وإن الدماء النجسة التي سالت منكم ما هي إلا جزء يسير من فاتورة ثقيلة تنتظركم فجهزوا نعوشكم واحفروا قبوركم فلنرسلنكم إلى الجحيم زمرا إثر زمر فإن القادم أدهى وأمر
Of course, we cannot vouch for the authenticity of the video or of Abubakar Shekau's claims, but that is what he claims, that Goza town is now part of an Islamic Caliphate and no longer a part of Nigeria. Well, the defense headquarters has, however, debunked the claim of a formation of the caliphate in northeast Nigeria. The military today, in a tweet, described the claim as empty, insisting that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Nigerian state is still intact. According to the military, any group of terrorists laying claim to any portion of the country will not be allowed to get away with the expression of delusion and crime. The military concluded its response by saying that appropriate military operations to secure that area from the activities of the bandits is still ongoing. We turn to electoral matters now. Residents of the nation's capital are complaining about what they call a lack of preparedness by the Independent National Electoral Commission for the continuous voter registration exercise. Hundreds of people who came out to the few registration centers in Abuja over the past few days have had issues with inadequate equipment and personnel for the registration exercise. Our correspondent Omelogo Nadi reports that residents in Abuja are asking INEC to extend the registration period and provide more equipment and staff to prevent many Nigerians from being left out in next year's general election.
This is the LEA Primary School in Wuse Zone 2. This is a center where many of the people around the city center here in Abuja are expected to come and register to obtain their temporary voters cards. Now, we understand that the people from around Gariki and around Wuse and the zones are expected to come here to pick up their temporary voters cards. We have at least 500 people presently here trying to obtain their temporary voters cards. Many of the people here are yet to register to get their cards, while a few others who have been registered are yet to get a printout of these temporary voters cards. Now, many of the complaints we've been getting from the people here are that the computers have been breaking down, the printers are breaking down. The computers here are not even enough for the registration process, they say. We understand that 4 computers is what has been put here at this venue for the registration exercise. We also spoke to one of the councillors here in Wuse. She said that it was only 1 computer that was here until they made a complaint to the INEC office, and 3 other computers were brought here. Many of the people here say that this continuous registration process cannot end today, and the reason they say is because a large chunk of the people here are yet to register. Many people who came here over the past few days were not able to register to get their temporary voters cards, and they say that if this continues, it would mean that unless the INEC extends this registration process, a large chunk of residents would be denied the opportunity to cast their votes come 2015. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
Well, the story is not much different in Kwara and in Cross River states, where voters and political parties say that there were inadequate personnel and faulty machines for the exercise. A voters' registration exercise ends tomorrow, and INEC has blamed the shortcomings on people coming from outside these states to register.
The Ga-Akanbi ward in Ilorin South local government area of Kwara State. Long queue of people waiting patiently to get registered. However, the people here are not finding the exercise any easy at all. They are angry over the manner in which the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is conducting the exercise.
The major challenge we are facing here is that of insufficient hands and machine. They hardly capture more than 57 people in a day since they've started. And look at the number of people here. Look at the crowd. Every day people will come as early as 5:36 a.m. in the morning. And at the end of the day, they will not even be able to get themselves registered.
I came in as early as possible, and I think my number is 230. And this is about my second time. I had to go back home and take my bath. And up to now, this is about 9:30. The INEC officials are not still yet on ground. And I don't know, at the end of the day, when it's about 5 o'clock, they will tell you they are closed for the day.
Away from the registration center, at a meeting of some members of the Kwara State People's Democratic Party, PDP, The issue of the registration exercise is also a topic for discussion.
Both the inadequacy of the registration equipment, registration points, and poor performances of the machine directly account for crisis and violence usually witnessed at the registration centers. More police personnel should be drafted in immediately.
Reacting to the various complaints, the State Deputy Director of Voter Education and Publicity of INEC insists that the issues of faulty machines and delay in registration shouldn't arise.
Well, we have to appreciate the fact that these machines were used in 2010 during the registration exercise. And shortly before this exercise, we had to service them, and we made sure we put them in good order for this assignment. We have heard of importation from various neighboring states. So all these people now went to overpopulate each of these centers, contrary to the plan of the Commission.
In Cross River State, South Nigeria, it's almost the same story, although there are not much turnout. But the resident electoral commissioner here assures voters of getting registered before the end of the exercise.
You can see for yourself, very orderly, the turnout massive. So from the way we are going, by Monday, we should be through with all of these persons.
Some people have gone angrily since the line, the queue. Some people came here 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and the queue, so they left. So I think they should add at least one more week.
As the exercise moves to other states ahead of the 2015 general election, it is expected that the hiccups of registration would be resolved.
When the News at 10 returns, our community report tonight focuses on the dwindling revenue from the Adire fabric. That's in a moment. Please join us again.